So best friends got each other's back. We used to cruise around with a bass to the max. Everyone in school while I was in the lab, cooking up some beats that would turn into tracks. High school chillin', I was on a mission. I had bigger dreams of being a musician. Teachers always talked but I couldn't seem to listen. I lived in a fantasy land, they called it fiction. But I was gonna be big one day, playing shows on the road to a sold out stage. Nobody really cared or believed I would make it anywhere close, I would fail and fade. But that's cool, I love that, cause any little doubt gives me energy back. And now I'm in a place where I'm glad I never gave up on the dreams I had. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. Yeah, let's go. So if you want something big, you gotta swing fast, swing hard and commit. You might miss 10 times, but when you win, just make sure that you get all of it, okay? People at the top took risks. Investing and testing is all that they did. It's not complicated, it just takes grit. So never give up, take a swing at it. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode number 73. I'm here with my guys, Coach Ed Gladney, Next Shift Randy, Blaze Radio, and Nikki Steves, who's going to be the next guest on Inside the Mind on Sunday at 1 p.m. So shout out to Nikki Steves for that. How's everyone doing?
You can call me Blaze. It's okay.
Yeah, I know where that's going. I'm not going that far.
The big D.
Oh, you dropped it. It's all good. But all right. So I hope everyone's doing well. We're gonna be on Spotify. So right after this, I'm gonna upload it right to Spotify. But there's something I got to talk to you all about. It's been 1 year ago today since we lost NYG WT85. 1 year ago today. So I just want to go around the horn and just give me your thoughts, man. Just give me your thoughts. So whoever wants, Coach, if you want to start off first, and then we'll just go around the horn.
I mean, it's always a somber moment, somber day. I mean, thinking back to that day and how stressful it was, and then to finally get the news. I had great chemistry doing shows with him. The energy that he would bring. I mean, the support he would give. I mean, it's something that we definitely do miss. And I know I miss it a lot. So, nothing but love and respect always for my bro.
Yeah. Randy?
Yeah, man. Coach said it really good there. Miss him a lot. Miss him every day. I actually was going through some old videos and came across one that me, you, and him did on a basketball game. And I actually sat there and watched the whole entire live again and was like laughing, started to cry a little bit, laughed again, cried a little bit. it was nice just to go back down memory lane and listen to him like call the games and how much energy he brought, and just like like his enthusiasm when stuff what happened that wasn't supposed to happen. And I dearly miss it. And one day I'll get to see him again.
Yeah. Blaze.
To me, he's still alive. He's still alive through us, and I only had a couple months with him. I just started watching you guys, and I think Mitch was one of the first persons I said, I was like, dude, this Jeff guy is like the epitome of the perfect YouTuber. He's putting out content. He's respectful of everyone's opinion. He's funny. He's entertaining. He's professional. I was like, anyone out there should strive to be like Jeffy was. And just like Coach says, the way he connected to everybody, didn't matter whose team you liked, didn't matter where you were from, didn't matter what you said. I mean, he was kind of the guy that you could probably cuss him out to his face, and he would say something positive and friendly back to you. And it's like, I think we should all just always try to have that little piece of him still with us, and in how we present what we do. And a lot of times I do, when I'm scrolling through or I'm seeing you guys action, I'll be like, he's still looking over the network. It's not even a question to me. And I think good things are happening to the network because he's watching over us, and he's always going to be here. So rest in power, my friend.
Yep. And Nikki, I'll go ahead.
Ooh, man, I mean, for Jeff, I knew him for about like 6 months or so, going back to like football season 22 when I started with the network on the pick'ems, then eventually joining Pick and Roll. I started to hear him more. I remember he'd come on here and he'd kind of lead the direction sometimes of the conversation, and we would sometimes bounce our statements off of him. And another thing too, with my play-by-plays I do alone, his style where he would be high energy, constantly into the game, influenced the way I do my play-by-plays when I'm full. So he did have an influence. And even now, sometimes when I'm not on YouTube or something, I'm just like thinking about, when I'm like getting ready to go to sleep, thinking about YouTube, trying to get my mind off of other things sometimes is a way to do it. I start thinking about Pick and Roll. I still hear Jeff's voice talking sometimes. So he was definitely an important piece of this show and had an influence on some of my stuff. So I'm definitely grateful for that. And we definitely do miss him on here.
Yeah. So for me, we've done a lot of work, Jeff and I together. Basketball play-by-plays, football, wrestling. Like wrestling, you really saw his emotions come out whenever like MJF appeared or a big move or something like that. Just seeing that. And Earl, team working together with Earl was like just so magic. And I miss that. I clipped that when MJF returned the first time, not this past weekend, but the first time. Just his emotions were just insane. And then you go Earl, and then Earl goes, I'm not there yet. One moment. I'm not there yet. But I miss this guy, man. I truly do. I met so many people through Jeff. I met Coach. I met NYG. I met Lou. I met basically everybody through the Big Blue Crew because of Jeff, and it hurts. It honestly hurts. And one last thing, Earl, Cole, Sarah, Mac, Nick, Jeff's best friend Joe, and myself, we're going to be on later talking about honoring Jeff in the AEW watch along. It's starting at 7:30. So I'm going to be late to that, but it's going to be emotional tonight. It's going to be so emotional, but
Mitch, I want to add on. You say you're hurting, and I think that's a good thing, because if he didn't have that impact on us, if he wasn't such a great person, we wouldn't still be hurting. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good hurt. It's a lingering hurt that's going to stick with us, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And so R.I.P. to Jeff, man. We miss you. We love you. And I know AK loves you as well. He talks about you all the time, Jeff. AK loves you. And Jeff, I'm not going to get into that, but All right, let's get on with the show. And actually, let's give a moment of silence for Jeff. 1 moment of silence, please. Thank you. All right. We miss you, Jeff. R.I.P. to Jeff, man. R.I.P. to Jeff.
Well said, Mitch. Well said, bro.
Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's get on with the show. And unfortunately,
Yeah, more morbid news.
yeah,
It's okay.
Bill Walton just passed away this past weekend at age 71 due to cancer. And I did not know he was sick. I'm being honest. I did not know he was sick. Did anyone here know that Bill Walton was dealing with something?
I didn't know.
Not to this extent. I've heard things,
No.
but but not to the point where it was, where it would lead to his untimely death. It's just, like every last one of us, we all deal with our issues,
Yeah.
but when I heard of it, I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was just totally shocked.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him play, but he was always around like the media and stuff like that. He was so highly respected, and yeah, all right, Peter Bill Walton. If anyone wants to say a few words about Bill Walton,
I mean, I definitely saw him play. I saw him play with the Blazers when I was young. I saw him with the Celtics when he was playing with Bird and McHale. I mean, he was at a point, his knees were, giving him problems, but you could tell his athleticism, his ability, his command when he was out there, his knowledge of the game. I mean, that's the one thing about Bill Walton for me that stands out more than anything, more than his playing ability, his intellect and his passion for life. I mean, the stories you hear and I've seen it, even listened to him when he broadcasts games. You hear how much, number one, his knowledge, but you also hear his passion for humanity. I mean, and the effect and the impact that he's had on so many people. I mean, Kareem showed a picture of him, he and him together, standing there smiling. You see how tall Walton is. You forget that really, he's a legit 7-footer, and it's just, he was someone for me as a child growing up who, epitomized what basketball is and epitomized what life is about. The way you touch people, doesn't matter where you come from, your social background, your racial background, your philosophical. He embraced everyone. So, and that's someone who more of us in this world need to not completely emulate, but have a part of him hit us and bring that part of humanity out to touch other people and help other people.
yeah. Randy, you got anything to say about Bill Walton?
I remember watching some NCAA games with him and Dave Pash, and just the chemistry those two had, and like the back and forth banter that they had it was like watching a big brother hang out with a younger brother. So it's definitely a loss. I myself was quite shocked when I heard the news. So definitely RIP to Mr. Walton. But learning about, because I like you, Mitch, didn't get a chance to watch him, but learning everything that he did, and not only in the NBA but also in college, I was like, wow, like he definitely the guy. He looked like everybody's big uncle, like the friendly giant. So and then yesterday I was watching ESPN, and Mike Breen came on and told a story about him and his dad. And Bill Walton basically helped out with everything, was like side by side with his dad, and his dad was dealing with like a really bad illness. And it was just really cool to hear the humanitarian side of him, like Coach said, not just him as a player or as an announcer, but as a human being. So we definitely lost a good one. So hopefully he can live on in memory forever. And he's part of the top 75 and 50, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yep. All right, Blaze.
two. I want to do it twofold. Number one, the numbers, the stats.
Yes.
He actually averaged a double-double. He averaged 13.3 career and 10.5 rebounds career. From Portland to San Diego Clippers to the Los Angeles Clippers to Boston. Now, my memories mostly of him is when he was with Boston late in his career. And he was one of those gritty players that was always, trying to get the ball, grabbing and rebound, scruffing around for plays. But what I remember most from him is his personality off the court. As a commentator, I remember him taking his shirt off and putting a tie-dyed shirt on a live broadcast. I mean, he was hilarious. He was a hippie. I just saw an interview with him. It might have been just a year or two ago. He was talking to an NBA player, and the NBA player had one of the big white tees on, and he has his tie-dyed. And they were like, "Why you wear the tie-dyed all the time?" He's like, "Hey, listen, when I go out and I get this shirt dirty or I get food on it from lunch, you don't even know it. You get something on that white shirt and it's history." And I was just like, just that personality that he had, how he talked about basketball when he did commentary. And like you guys were saying, the stories. I mean, you can just Google him or go search for Bill Walton stories and him talking. It's compelling. It's like you have to listen to the guy when he's talking. And that's pretty good thing when you're a commentator to have a compelling voice. And so it's the whole circle for me. It's on the court, it's off the court. His effect for basketball in so many ways, and just the personality that always came out is what I remember from Bill Walton. And I was a Sixer fan. I hated the Celtics, but I was just telling my dad, I was like, I couldn't stand McHale, I couldn't stand Bird, I couldn't stand Parrish, I couldn't stand Dennis Johnson. I knew they were great, but I hated that team. And then then they got Walton. I was like, they're going to win more championships. And they did. So it's like you hated him as a player. A lot of people hated his style because he was that gritty, but you got to love the person. He was such a great human being. So rest in peace.
Yeah. And Nikki.
Man, yep, that's another legend lost, though. I mean, it's a sad thing, but it does happen. But Bill Walton, man, one of the greatest college players of all time. Remember, he led that UCLA Bruins dominant run. Not only that, but he was an activist off the court. It started then, before he became famous at the professional level. And it continued even into his later years. That's something else about Bill Walton we got to remember.
Yep.
He was anti-war. He stood up being anti-racist. He did this consistently throughout his life. And that's another area he was a wonderful influence too, from that standpoint. Then on the court, hey, when he was fully healthy, he dominated. I mean, injuries obviously shortened his career a little bit and maximized his full potential. I mean, I know this is kind of off subject, but I do think in today's era, it wouldn't have minimized him as much with the advances in science and medicine, but
right.
It is what it is. But even then, Bill Walton made the most of it. Even with the injuries, he made the most of his time on the court. And he overcame the public speaking barrier and became a great commentator to listen to. So there's a lot of positive things you can say, taking off what everyone said about Bill Walton, both here on the podcast and elsewhere. If you search interviews talking about the guy, or if you listen to the guy yourself. So truly a legend of basketball, period. And rest in peace, Bill Walton.
Where's Luke Walton at? Is he a coach somewhere, or
assistant or something?
He's got to be some
coaching G League or something.
No, I'm here.
Luke Walton. Is he a coach somewhere?
Cavaliers assistant coach in 2022. I don't know if he's doing anything now.
Huh?
But hey, real quick though, Nikki, that was a great point, because I'm looking at Walton's stats and everything. He missed 3 full seasons because of a foot injury. 78, 79, then he played in 79, 80, then he missed 2 more years. So like, if you think about that, it's not ACL, it's a foot. So yeah, with today's technology and medicine, he may have only missed half a season or something. So that's a really good point that Nikki had.
Yeah. Actually,
he is a Cavaliers assistant still, Walton.
Oh,
Luke.
Oh, cool. I'm glad he's still in the league. I'm glad he's still here. I'm glad he's still in the league. I want to go back to Jeff real quick. I just thought of something. If it wasn't for him and I, there would not have been any pick and roll. I'm saying me and him worked so hard to come up with the name, the day, the time. I'm just saying, Randy, Nikki, remember in the very first episode that Jeff and I did a pick and roll? And then we took it on from there. We had Randy as a guest, and he became a host. Nikki, then he became a host, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
I just had to throw that out there. If it wasn't for Jeff, I don't think pick and roll would have been a thing.
He lives on through this podcast, man. Like I said, it's kind of makes you smile a little bit. You know, it's sad to lose someone, but when they have that much of an effect, it's got to make you smile, make your heart smile too.
Yeah, exactly what I'm
Knowing
saying.
Jeff's pretty much the main reason we're here having this discussion.
Yep.
Yep.
R.I.P. to Jeff, man. Now let's get on to basketball because Tyronn Lue gets an extension with the LA Clippers. So I'm going to start with you, Nikki. How do you feel about the extension with Tyronn Lue with the Clippers? I know it's not in the docket. I just threw it.
I know. I'm looking at it like, what are you doing?
I
Going off
mean,
It broke
okay.
today.
I know.
I asked myself, what has Tyronn Lue really done beside that once? Well, he was the coach that season they got to the conference finals, right? Was that his first season? Yep. So that first season, he got into the conference finals. But since then, they've been a reoccurring early playoff elimination. So it's like, how much different is he really than Doc Rivers beside that one conference finals appearance?
Right.
So I'm kind of scratching my head a little bit at that decision right there.
Yeah. Blaze.
I'm gonna go opposite. I think first of all, I hate the Clippers. Can't stand them. Don't really care for any of their players, and the rumors of adding Chris Paul and more age. So they're the oldest team in the history of now. Those 8 years. I was telling Mitch earlier. I was like, those 4 guys 8 years ago, man, that'd be a hell of a team to put together. You wouldn't have enough money,
Right?
But here's the way I look at it. Beginning of last year, I even said it too. I was like, you know what? Beginning of the season, I said, if that team can click with those 3 guys, they're going to be dangerous. They started out really rocky. And I will give the coach some credit because midseason, you guys remember when they went on that hot streak and they couldn't lose?
Yes.
They all started to click. The team really started to work together. And that I kind of attribute that, of course, to players getting used to each other, but you got to give some credit to the coach for constructing the team and making it work too. So I do give him some credit for them getting very successful during the year and scaring the shit out of a lot of teams in the West because they were dangerous. Did they climb to like number 1 for a while in the West or really close to the top?
Yes.
So to get a bunch of superstars to play together is not an easy thing. I mean, especially when you're talking about, I wouldn't even know professional level, but just talking at lower level, you get 4 or 5 really good players on your team. You got to find a way to balance it as a coach.
Yeah.
So I give him credit for doing that. Hopefully they know what they're doing for his sake and the team's sake, but I'd love to see him fail, to be honest. That's just a fan in me.
All right. Randy. Tyronn Lue.
I think he can't be tied to his players' downfall, and by that I mean the fact that they got injured. I mean, he can't control their bodies. He can't control whether or not what they do on and off the court. All he can control is the game plan, the proper practice schedule, this, that, and the third, and the proper assistant coaches. So you go back and you look at his record since 2020-21. He hasn't had a season where he hasn't had over or under 42 wins. So then you go look at it even deeper. It's like last year, everybody shat on them when they had that horrible start, and then they ended up with 51 wins last year. So I think that accumulating with the fact that like he understands what it takes to win. It's just he's got to have his players healthy. Got him the contract extension, considering what was out on the market, who was available, who wasn't available. They had to stick with in-house. So, and plus they're going to start their new arena soon. So I think it'd be nice to have a familiar face as a head coach.
Yep. And coach.
Tyronn Lue, I love his approach to the game of basketball. Just from a coaching perspective, in watching what he does, people don't realize how difficult it is when you're dealing with the attitudes, the personalities of people in general. I mean, I've done it for 40 plus years, and doesn't matter how old, how young they are, meshing the personalities and getting them to all focus in on the same objective is very difficult, and he does it very well. And then when you factor in a lot of his in-game adjustments, how prepared the teams he coaches are. You can hate the teams or the players or whatever, but no matter what, if you just look at the game, they're well prepared, and it doesn't matter what team he's coaching. So, and like I said, his adjustments, a team is doing this or that to them or giving them this or that opportunities, and he capitalizes, or he makes the right adjustments to offset what the other team is doing. He's, for me, a very, very, very good coach. And if I'm correct, didn't he win the championship wasn't he the head coach of the Cavaliers when they won the championship?
Yes.
Okay, because Nicky threw me when he said he only won the Eastern Conference. I was like, I thought he won the championship.
No, he won the championship. He took the place of remember that guy who was like overseas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
2015, 2016. Yeah, he was the NBA championship.
He was the interim head coach. Okay, so
Yeah.
so I mean, he's also coached and won at that level. Now, can you argue he should be able to should have won more? Yeah, there's a great argument for that. So I will never argue against that. So, but again, I look at the talent that he's had to coach, the top level players that he's had to deal with, the prima donna attitudes, and he's still, for the most part, been effective. And he's always a hot commodity because guess what? Somebody fires him, they're going to snatch him up very quickly. Sorry about that, guys.
You okay?
Snatched up something real quickly.
Yeah, no,
all good. You're right.
Good.
Well said. Well said.
So,
Yeah. All right. So the only thing I like Tyronn Lue is the fact that Allen Iverson stepped over him, but other than that, I'm good.
He was
Other
a
than
pretty
that,
damn good ball player too for a little guy back in the day. I think we should add that in there.
He
too.
was, but I gotta ask, Blaze, do you remember what you were doing during that moment, during the step over? Because I do. You don't?
I can tell you what I was doing when Kirk Gibson hit a home run, when Joe Montana threw a touchdown against the Cowboys, and really old stuff when the Steelers won their Super Bowls, when the Pirates are in the playoffs, when the Penguins won the Stanley Cup. But
Okay.
no,
We
don't
get
remember was it a regular season game or something?
It was game 1 of the 2001 final.
Shows how much I remember it. There you go.
Yeah.
2001. Let me think. Where was I
Our
in
favorite
2000?
Tyronn Lue moment.
I think I was in college still. No, I already graduated from college. I think I was living in Indiana at the time, to be honest. Yeah, it was 2001.
Because I was actually in this house, and I remember I was in the living room, and I was a huge Allen Iverson fan, and I'm like, oh, this is Tyronn Lue right here. It's not gonna look pretty. And then once Allen Iverson did it, I walked away. I'm like, there's no way he actually just did that. Well, he did, but on other words, he's a good coach overall. I mean, he did have superstars there, but that's not his, to me, if you have LeBron there, I mean, LeBron did pick you, but I don't know. People call him overrated, but it is what it is. So we got to talk about the Timberwolves because they won last night. Can they come back? And
Can they? Yes. Will they? No. I was telling this earlier. I said, listen, they showed last night they can beat Dallas at home. However, they're not going to be able to do the same thing for 3 more games, I'm afraid. I think they might be. I mean, they showed it last night. So if there's a team over the last umpteen years that I think might be able to break that 154-0 or whatever it is history, it could be. So, I mean, I'm not – if I would do a percentage, it wouldn't be 100% no, they're definitely not coming back, and it wouldn't be anywhere near 100% there's no, that they are not coming back, that they are. I think it's in the middle. I think they need to be hitting on all cylinders. We've seen when Ant was off, they had trouble. When the big guys were off, they had trouble. When the role players weren't stepping up, they had a little trouble. Last night, Cat came through late. Cat, I think, is the X factor. Even though he's the star, he's supposed to do it. You look at the games that they lost, and Cat didn't perform like Cat. And that and then you can't rely everything on Ant. This is his first go round with something this big, and Can they do it? I think they can, but will they? I got it. I think it's going to be Dallas, Boston.
Yeah. Randy, let's go with you.
Yeah, Blaze said it perfectly, man. Can they? Yeah, it's a tall cast. 1-155. No one's ever come back down 3-0. I saw a stat earlier today where it was like pushing the game to like a 6-game series even. It was like 11 games
Wow.
and that's it. So it's like it's a really low amount. I even think it's 4 games or 4 teams pushed it to 5. So will they be able to win it at home and push it to 6? We'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way if they did it though.
Yeah. Coach.
If they get it to game 6, if they get past, if they make it 3-3, they're winning. That's really it. The whole issue is, can they win game 6? Because I think they're winning at home. I do. I just think that they, number one, their inexperience of the moment is the reason why they were down 0-3, in my opinion. It's a part of the reason why they were down. You know, it's just a big moment. That really is. That pressure, being in the conference finals. You know, the Dallas, they have the big factor, Kyrie. People forget Kyrie won a championship. That helps settle you. When you get to this point, experience that is a big factor. That's why Boston has been successful. They're very experienced. They may not have won the chip, but they know what it takes to get there. Dallas, they have Kyrie, who has been there. Even Luka has been there to this point. So Minnesota, their youth is what is contributing to holding them back. And I think, you know, if they can settle in tomorrow and win at home, it's game 6 is the big factor for me. If they can get game 6, I believe they're going to win game 7. So, and that's what it boils down to now. Will they, like Blaze said, the percentages are very, very low in my opinion. You know, I want to see them get there because they're the one I want to see challenge Boston more than anything with their big size, and how does Boston match up to that? But, you know, will they? I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Yeah, me too. Nikki.
I mean, the odds are obviously stacked against them, and with these type of coming back from 3-0, that's a once in a lifetime thing if it even happens.
Right.
So I just don't see it happening. And the Mavs are just the better all around team. Everything's clicking for them. These players know how to handle that situation, especially Kyrie. He was there with LeBron. Luka, he's been there overseas, so he's used to this type of pressure. I think for the T-Wolves, yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a run, but I think it's going to eventually come to an end. And just,
Yep.
yeah, I see the Mavs are going to win this series. I just pretty much all I have to say right there.
Yep, I'm right there with you. It's lower than Ben Simmons' jump shot. Hey, he was back in the lab. NYG, he's back in the lab.
I win.
No, you don't.
Comeback player of the year. Him even being on the court again is a hell of a comeback. I win. Comeback player of the year.
No.
Hey, I want to add on to the Maverick talk before we move on. I sent this to Mitch. I told him about it, and I'm really interested on you guys' takes on it. Stephen A. Smith early this week had his top 5 best NBA backcourts of all time. We don't need to pull up the graphic. I'll go over them. His number.
Okay, I was gonna pull it up.
If you have it, you can, but I can go over it. It's really easy,
just go over it then.
Yeah. So number 1, Steph and Clay. Not a lot of people argue with that, what they've done. Magic and Byron Scott was number 2. Can't really argue much on that one. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, number 3. What they did with the Bad Boys was amazing. Number 5 is Bob Cousy and Sam Jones. Back before my time when Boston was winning tons of titles, they were the backcourt. He has Luka and Kyrie at number 4 backcourt of all time. They've done it for 1 year. They might end up on the list, but do you guys think they're a top 5 backcourt of all
No, what about
time?
Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili?
Good
I was
one.
just gonna say that.
Great one. See, I think I would have eventually Luka and Kyrie could be there, but they've got to do a little more. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't think they're in there yet. They might end up there.
I don't agree with this list one at all. Even at number 1, I don't agree with number 1.
That's fine, and that's Stephen A. So a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I know Luka and Kyrie. And call me a Knicks homer, but what about Clyde and Earl? And that's what threw me. That's what threw me with Stephen A.
He's a Knicks guy, isn't he?
You're a Knicks guy, and you don't have Clyde and Earl the Pearl in there, but you have Luka and Kyrie. For me, Bob Cousy and Sam Jones, I'm sorry, they're number 1. They're number 1.
I got
so.
More
you know,
titles?
but again, that's the question is about Luka and Kyrie. They shouldn't be in the top 5. They shouldn't be. I'm sorry.
And Stephen A. makes lists to get it viral. So, and he
Mhm.
wants to talk about current stuff.
Fluid.
So.
And it's fluid. We know it's
and it worked. We're
fluid.
talking about it, right? So it's good job, Stephen A. You got me talking about it. I knew it'd be a good topic.
Good job, Blaze. Good job, Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, he got me, Stephen. No, I just wanted to touch the base real because that's the vibe I got, just like you guys. I don't think they're in there yet, so we can move on. I didn't want to waste a lot of time on it, but it was a fun topic, real quick when I saw that.
For me, I agree with Nikki. I would take Luka and Kyrie out, and I'll put Parker and Ginobili right there.
Yeah,
For championship together.
And if you ask someone that's like my and Coach's age, and you ask someone in their 20s, you're going to get different answers, and that's fair because that's who you've seen. You can't really judge if you haven't seen them, but that's.
And then, yeah. What about this? Is a underrated one. Mario Chalmers and Dwayne Wade.
I
Underrated.
wouldn't put him in all time, but when they were playing, Chalmers was like out, and Wade's a legend. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's like a hot take. There's a hot take, if you will.
It's a hot.
Are you saying put him in the top 5, or are you just saying
no?
that?
No. I was just naming. Naming.
So I found the top 10. So here's other ones: Chris Paul and James Harden. When they were on, they were good. Kobe and Derek Fisher, they were good. Michael Jordan and Ron Harper, they were good.
Exactly.
Frazier and Earl Monroe, Parker and Ginobili, Magic and Byron Scott, Cousy, Jerry West and Gail Goodrich before my time, but I'll always vote for Jerry West, and Curry and Isaiah. Yeah, so there's a couple other ones like Jordan and those that you don't probably think about, but that's I like that conversation. I like that debate.
What about Billups and Hamilton? They went to the finals twice and got a chip. So
it's a very subjective type of list. That's why it's great for debate. So we can move on now.
So many different possibilities you could throw out there.
Yeah. Nowadays, there's not many only front courts because the big guys come out. It's kind of positionless basketball now. So Francis and McGrady were dangerous too when they were in there. So there's a lot. That's why I knew it'd be a fun topic. All right,
Iverson and Eric Snow.
I
love it.
You got one that's good.
It.
One that was real good. Snow's wasn't bad. Right,
I loved Eric Snow.
Yeah, you can move.
He was the point guard I grew up watching.
He was a Michigan State boy, though. I thought you were a Michigan boy.
I am, but hey, he was before I was even watching Michigan.
True. All right, fair.
Mitch, what about Jordan and whoever he had?
Yeah. Your cousin. He had your cousin, Bruce.
What about Jordan and Ron Harper?
That's what I just said. He was on the list. His cousin Bruce, his cousin Ron Harper.
Yeah, and then he's related to Bryce Harper.
Oh boy. All right. Next.
Hey Logan, what is up, man?
Bryce Harper related to Charlie Harper.
Yeah.
Ron Harper.
Yeah.
All right. Enough with these Harpers. I'm kidding, Bruce, not you. But the NBA Eastern Conference MVP, Jaylen Brown. I was not surprised by this at all. He deserves it. How many times did he hit 40-point games? How many times? Like 3 in this playoffs or in this conference alone? In this conference finals? There we go.
I think that was a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, he was constant the whole 4 games.
He only had one 40-point game. He had a couple high 20s.
Oh, I thought he had more. My bad. I thought
He had
more.
He had a 132. He had a 25, 28, 27, 26, 24, 29.
Yeah,
Stuff
but you
like
can't
that.
say, Jaylen was off on game 2, game 3, game 4, game 1. He was on all 4 games, and it's one of the reasons that they're where they're at. Definitely the main reason, probably.
Yeah. And Tatum did average a double-double throughout, but you still got to give it to Jaylen Brown. You still.
Definitely. There's
His
no question.
defense too. The defense he was playing was
Mhm.
pretty damn stingy, man. So
He showed leadership. He did everything he needed to do to make sure that the number one team in the NBA got to where they're supposed to get, is the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. But for Boston, was it a dominant playoff run or was it a fluke?
See, I just saw a video today, and it was all about the injuries. Everyone got hurt. Giannis got hurt. Lillard got hurt. Embiid was hurt. Middleton got hurt. It's like you can go through all the list of all the different teams. Brunson got hurt, even though it was late. Each team that was in the East had issues, but you can't use that. Like I always say, injuries as an excuse. It's next man up. Did their path become a little easier because of a bunch of these injuries? Of course. You got a lot of the greatest players in the East that were hurt, and the East wasn't even close, arguably, in my opinion, than the West teams were. So Boston did what they were supposed to do as the number one team in the East. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to make excuses and say this guy, that guy was hurt. That just shit happens, and they're where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I saw Boston blowing through the East from the start of the playoffs. They were clearly the best team in the conference. This was a weaker Eastern Conference. Not to take away from them, but I don't think it was just kind of one of those things was bound to happen, and it's exactly what happened. Boston made it to the finals, and now we just await for the Western Conference. Most likely the Mavs are we're going to see. I mean, not take away from them, but they're just the best team in that conference by far. They're just too good for all the other teams there, the way they mesh together. Brown, Tatum, then you got White, Drew Holiday added to the mix.
I'm glad White shaved his head. Welcome to the club, Derek White. That hairline was bad, bro. That hairline was bad. And they were making fun of him on McAfee, all these podcasts. And then I saw him in the last game bald again. I'm like, just stick with the ball, bro. You look good.
You know what? I'm glad you said Derek White, Blaze, because he was a Division II college player. He was not a Division I. He was not one of those high profile guys.
D2?
He was keep on getting overlooked. He was keep on getting overshoved, and people didn't respect him. But look at him now. He's arguably the best defensive guard in the league, in my opinion. But shout out to Derek White, man. He proves to everybody that if you follow your dream and push your passion, you can end up anywhere. Shout out to Derek White.
But he did play at Colorado his last year.
Huh?
He played at Colorado his last year.
Exactly. Like, what do you want me to say?
He was with Colorado Springs for his first 3 years, and he played for Colorado his last year. But still, you got to be good enough in D2 to make it up into D1. So he was doing. You're right. I mean, I'm not trying to piss on your parade, but
No, I mean that was good.
I didn't know that either. I had to look it up, so it's not like I fucking knew.
I mean, Derek White, Spurs, you let the wrong one go. Seriously.
He went down to the G League.
He was in the G League for a little bit, yeah. Crazy. What?
One of them good role players that's helping them. Yeah, definitely.
Derek White and Drew Holiday, they're the real X factors of this series. Definitely. And
whoever comes out of the West better beat Boston. That's what I'm cheering for.
Please.
Yeah.
Get enough titles.
They do. But Blaze, wasn't there something you wanted to show everybody?
Oh, goodness gracious. You did have the backcourts of all time on the docket. I didn't even see that. I jumped the gun.
It's all good.
Bad Blaze! Bad Blaze!
Springer's going to get a ring.
Let me find it to share it here. For those that don't know, I call it digital wrestling. I take a 2K wrestling game. I let people give me their characters that they create, and I let the computer play out the matches. We set whatever type of match, and they just fight, and whoever wins, and we have fun with it. I book it, and we just to get a bunch of people involved. Everyone creates their own characters. And I was thinking, I created an NBA arena, and I was like, wouldn't it be fun to see some NBA players fight each other? Because I've seen like when Draymond choked out Gobert, they had that from 2K. They had that video where he's choking him out on the NBA 2K, but it's from WWE.
And then don't forget about Ben Simmons choking out Cat.
Yeah. So they had all that, and I was like, wouldn't it be fun? And I'm interested in who you guys think would win now. So I have a match card that I'm gonna do tomorrow night, 8:00 live on my channel, where I'm gonna have NBA players. And I downloaded a bunch. I had to edit them and do it. And I'm at NBA players fighting each other. So we're going to go through, and I want to know who you guys think will win each of these fights. And some of them are very fun. I had fun with this. So I created this arena, NBA style, with all the logos and crap like that, just the aesthetics of it. It's fun to do.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, I created one for our boy Earl as well. So here's the matchups, and I'm really interested to see. And some of these characters don't look somewhat like them, or because you can actually take a face scan with this game and upload their actual face and put it on the guy. So I downloaded guys, I edited them to really make the outfits look right. And I got this arena. I'm going to do it live Thursday night, kind of like a watch along, because I'll be watching the basketball game while I do it, so it's like a watch along as well. So everyone, even if you're not a wrestling fan, come in, stop in, have fun. I'll throw the link everywhere. And we're going to see these fights. Number 1, SGA versus Jalen Brunson. I think I know who Coach will pick on this one. But two MVP quality players this year definitely rose above what they were supposed to do. I shared that one thing where there's a video out there that someone compiled all those media experts saying how Brunson was not the answer. He wasn't going to do it. He won't help the Knicks as much as people thought. And they were all wrong. And I love when the big time media are wrong. So, Randy, who do you think is going to win? And we'll go quick.
I'm rolling with my Canadian boy, SGA.
All right. Coach, you're sticking with your boy Brunson, right?
Yep.
All right. And Nikki, who you think's going to win?
Oh, Brunson.
Mitch, who you got?
Oh, wow. I got Brunson.
All right. And you guys in the chat, throw up who you think's going to win as well. All right.
Yeah.
So that'll be the
Bruce-
first match.
Yeah, Bruce said SGA.
There you go. All right. So
Appreciate that, Butterfly.
Now,
Thank you.
the funny part is, too, some of their entrances are hilarious. Like, I think Ant has X-Pac's entrance where he's crotch chopping all the way down to the ring and stuff. So it'll be fun.
Oh, my God.
So how about this one? Joker versus Wemby.
There's no Embiid, which I'm mad about.
No, I couldn't find Embiid, and I didn't want to try to make it. All right. Nikki, who you got in this one?
Joker.
All right. Coach? In a fight.
I know. Joker. That's why I said this man, come on, man. This
one should be quick.
I was gonna do something. I was gonna do Jokic and I think it was Larry Bird, and it was gonna be Wemby and Jalen Brunson. Or I was gonna put him against. I don't know. It was gonna be Steph and Wemby, like one short guy, one tall guy.
I would have loved to seen Wemby and what's his name, who played for y'all from Utah back in the day. Sean Bradley.
Oh, Sean Bradley, yeah, real tall, skinny dudes together, yeah. Randy, you said
Joker. Going with the Joker.
Yep. And Mitch, everyone's gonna take
Wemby. Wembenyama.
I know Rios to take Wemby. That's pretty much if you're a wrestling fan, Jokic is pretty much Gunther.
Oh God!
It pretty much is the same. Now they did wrong. They did Larry Bird.
Bird.
They did Larry Bird wrong, man. That is that's very white, and that hair is terrible.
Both of them. Steph is not even built like that.
Look how jacked Steph is. I was going to edit the body, but I was like, let's let Steph be jacked. All right, Nikki, who you got in arguably two of the greatest shooters of all time?
Larry Bird.
All right, Coach.
In a fight?
Yeah, they're gonna have a fight.
I mean, Larry Bird is not even doing well in his own home in that commercial. So
yeah, that is good. I love that commercial.
I'm gonna take Steph in this one.
All right, Randy.
And Butterfly says Curry looks sexy.
Randy,
yeah, I'm taking Curry too.
Mitch.
Curry.
Bird looks so awkward in the ring, so it's going to be a funny one there.
Oh boy.
Okay, we got the inside the NBA one there. I really hated the fact that it's a Street Profit jersey and you can see through it, the Shaq thing. But Shaq,
oh my God, I just noticed that.
Yeah, but I wanted the stripes, and that was that one that I can download, and I couldn't really edit. I tried to cover it up, but
why didn't you give him the Lakers one?
Because I'm going. What he was real famous for is Orlando.
Well, if that's wasn't he
real famous in LA?
That's why I didn't put Barkley. Barkley, when I downloaded him, he was in a Suns uniform. And I said, I don't want him in a
Looks like
sunshine.
he looks like he has boobs.
He might have some moobs, some man boobs out there. I had to edit the Sixers gear a little bit. I put the stripes on the bottom and everything because he was in a Suns uniform. So I had to take screenshots of a Sixers jersey, upload it,
This
edit
would
it.
actually be fun. This sounds like if they ever did a celebrity
Yeah.
wrestling match in the
Yep.
90s, Shaq and Barkley would be the ones to go at it.
So who you
I'm
got,
going-
Nikki?
I'll go Shaq.
All right. Ed, coach?
I mean, it's gonna be the big Aristotle.
There you go. Randy.
Yeah, I'm taking the big diesel.
Mitch?
Barkley.
Me too. I'm going Barkley as well.
Let's
Although
go.
I love Shaq. Although
Fuck
the
the Sixers.
banter between these two in a wrestling match would be pretty funny too.
Yeah.
You're terrible. All right.
You're
Too
terrible.
bad it's not a celebrity death match.
Now now Michael Jordan looks like Charlie Murphy.
He does.
If you and it's actually Jordan's face scan, so I was like, that
What
looks
do the
like Charlie-
five fingers say to the face?
Charlie Murphy. But of course, you got to have Jordan versus LeBron. So, Nikki. You there,
Nikki?
Nikki? All right, coach.
Jordan.
All right, coach.
In a fight, this LeBron. Come on, man. That's not even fair.
Yeah.
You got 6'8",
You're right.
200 and what is he? 260, 270. Jordan is what? 210, 220? Nah.
Jordan looks like Kobayashi. What?
Could be-
Kobe-ish.
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 Oh, yeah.
For a second, I
And
thought she said Kobayashi. I'm like,
Did-
wait, what?
yeah. Didn't LeBron play football when he was younger too?
Yep, he played
Yeah.
football. He was a wide receiver
Yeah.
on his football team in Toledo. Was it Toledo? No, in Ohio, wherever.
Akron.
Akron, thank you.
What about you, Mitch? Miker LaFlop.
I'm going Jordan.
All right, me too.
LeBald.
Bold. Bold.
Tatum
Ooh.
and Halliburton.
That looks like Klay Thompson.
Now I had to edit the Tatum a little bit, and I know it doesn't look completely like him. Neither of them do. I was trying to give. I was
Halliburton
looking.
looks like Clay a little bit.
Yeah, I was
He
trying to
looks like
find.
Jalen Suggs.
I was trying to find
Yeah.
Humpty Hump and use his face because that's who Tyrese Halliburton looks like. Is Humpty Hump. So, all right, we'll start with Nikki again. Who you got?
And then Butterfly goes, Tatum looks
Tatum.
overweight.
All right, Coach.
Well, I have to go Tatum because actually, what most people don't know, Tatum actually looks like my nephew, the real Tatum.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like my nephew. If I brought up the pictures, y'all would be amazed. So I'm going Tatum.
All right,
And I
Randy.
can't stand Halliburton anyway. His damn toothpick ass.
Woo! Yeah, I can understand that one. Randy,
Tatum.
Mitch.
Halliburton.
All right. Now I had to get the Western Conference too. So we got Luca and Ant.
And
Yes.
Oh,
Man, it's not even close, man.
Everyone's going Ant. I'm
Ant.
going Ant.
I'm going Luca.
You got. What's he gonna do? Shoot it? He's gonna get him to submit. All
So
right.
you're trying to be a lone wolf against the wolves. Okay.
I see what you did there,
yeah.
Coach. So then what I'll do, those are all the singles matches. Then I'm going to have an old man battle royal. So I'm going to stick all four of the old men in a battle royal. And
I got Shaq in
yeah, I
there.
don't know how Shaq could lose a battle royal against these guys.
No way.
Plus, Shaq's been in a wrestling ring before. That's one thing people don't know. He has wrestled a little bit before. And then the final match, I got to add SGA and Brunson into this, but I'm going to do a Royal Rumble with the 10 current players for the final match. So I'm going to have fun with it. If you stop by, laugh. I know I'll be laughing.
Wembenyama. I'm going to Wembenyama.
I'll be laughing the whole time. I know some of them look silly, but it's just a concept I figured it would be fun to do for a change. So, and I thank you, Mitch, for letting me put it on there and promote my
Of
show
course.
for tomorrow night.
Of course.
Shameless
Of course.
promotion for tomorrow night for your boy Blake. So
Of
we'll have fun
course.
with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my people that are in my actual EFED challenge the NBA guys, and I'll do another show later on where it's like their characters fighting the NBA characters.
Okay, can you have halftime fight someone?
No, he could fight Logan Paul.
There we go. But yeah,
Yeah,
So shout
that's
out to Blaze. Make sure you tune in to that tomorrow at 8 o'clock,
You got
same
it.
time as the actual game. So that'll be fun. Since there's no basketball game tonight, do you have the Mavericks closing out tomorrow? I ain't
No,
got 'em.
I'm with Coach. I like what
Mhm.
Coach said. I think they're gonna. I think the Wolves continue what they did this last game. Maybe even win by 10. I like these close games. Don't get me wrong. These games coming down to the end, it you get those butterflies in. Shout out to Butterfly. You get those goosebumps. You get those butterflies like late in the game. I was literally sitting on the edge of my seat these last couple of games that have come down to the end. That's what I love about the NBA playoffs.
I want to
do.
say really quick too. I like how Micah Nori is using Kyle Anderson a little bit more, and even though he's not being the shooter, he's being the guy setting high screens to allow shooters to get open. I love that teamwork from him. I think that might be they might have opened something in this game, so I'm hoping they win next game so they can force a game 6.
X Factor.
Yes.
All right. I am going Mavericks. I think they're going to close it out here. I think
Don't
Luka
tell
is going to
TRL.
have like a, huh?
Don't tell TRL.
Ah!
I think it's going to be a good finals regardless of who comes out the West.
Same.
What I was afraid is if Dallas closed out last night, the first game's not until like the 5th or the 6th or something.
June 6th.
So it's like it would have been a week off. Like, what do you guys think as an NBA player? Do you want to continue momentum, or do you want a week to rest before the finals? I guess you could go both ways.
If I were Boston, I would want the rest because of Porzingis.
That's a good point.
That is why. Porzingis is rumored to play game 1.
Yeah. See, me,
Yeah.
I would want to keep the flow going. I wouldn't want to not have a game. If you're in that flow, you're 4-0, I would want to have a game. So I don't think it hurts or helps any of these teams. It was just something I was thinking like, damn, a week off before the finals would be weird.
I think the Mavs wanted to help Luka because he's dealing with a lot right now. So him having a week off would heal up a lot better too. So
Speaking of Kat and Ant, their post-game press conferences have been great.
oh, those are golden, man.
They have
I
been
love
so
them.
fun. Those two
So
are
funny.
Yeah, those two are great together when they chit chat. I love it.
Yeah, the banter back and forth is so good. So good.
Yeah. So, Nikki, who you got?
I got I think the Mavs in 6. And then
So you got
Celtics, Mavs in
Timberwolves
the
winning tomorrow?
finals.
So
Yeah.
you got Timberwolves winning tomorrow?
Yep.
I think want Mavs to close it out. That's it. Just get on to the finals. That's it. But yeah, guys, on one final note, RIP to Jeffy T85. We
Yes.
miss you, bro. We think about you all the time. It's just gone too soon. That's all I gotta say. Gone too soon. And make sure you guys tune in to the AEW watch along tonight at 7:30 with Earl, Sarah, Nick, Mac, and oh, how can I forget him? Joe, NYG Jeffrey T's best friend outside of YouTube, and then I'll pop on when I get home. So make sure you all tune in tomorrow, 7:30 or tonight at 7:30. Hey, what is up? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yes, you have. You just saw him 1 second ago.
All right, guys, really appreciate you. If anyone got one final words, now's your time, and I'll be right back.
No, not really. I mean, just another show. I mean, this was simpler and to the point, but hey, sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes, depending on what's going on, you got some shorter shows. Sometimes you got some longer shows. Today was one of those shows. We just were to the point. We said what we needed to said. Keep it rolling.
We didn't talk about Bronny or LeBron that much today, except for the one little thing. So I'm cool with that. So that's going to be the talk coming up soon. Is like staying, going. Who's drafting Bronny? Where's LeBron going to go? Who's he going to play with? Who's going to come with him? So I'm sure. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'll touch base on that subject because it'll be a top story all over NBA stuff. Because when it comes to LeBron, he's going to be a top story, whether he's 20 years in and what. And I mean, I get it. I'm not really sure right now. It's kind of weird to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it because I still think I'm sticking with my original story. Bronny should have stayed in college one more year. I don't think he should be drafted in round 1 or 2. Now I'm here. Lakers might take him in round 1 just so they can try to keep LeBron. I've heard the Suns rumor. I've heard the Sixers rumor. I've heard the Heat rumor. I mean, it's going to be a topic, I'm sure, that ain't going anywhere very soon.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about now?
Brawny.
LeBron and Bronny coming to the Sixers. No, just the fact that it's up in the air. Is he going to get drafted?
He's going to Phoenix. He's going to Phoenix.
Is he staying in LA? Is his son getting drafted? Is he going to go to LA? Will they be together? Will they not? It's going to be a headline for months, I'm sure, leading into the draft.
Have him go to Phoenix.
Happy
they afford?
wife, happy wife, happy life. He's staying in LA.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
He's staying.
Well, it
That's
all
my first
depends.
vibe too.
It depends. JJ Redick going to be the head coach?
They were
Doesn't
talking about
matter.
that on ESPN earlier. There's a lot of people that are still going to come up to. He's the front runner right now, but there's a lot of names coming out now. So that's who knows who's going to be the coach.
Yeah. And shout out to AK, NFL Reality Check is in the building. I know he misses Jeff a whole lot. So AK will probably pop on tonight to the AEW watch along. So
I'll be in the
Shout out
chat
to-
busting everybody's balls.
Braun, stay put. No one wants you. I disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm sure a
No.
lot of teams are going to want him. Except Philly.
I'm back, Butterfly from. Oh, you're back from Italy. That is awesome. Did he bring me some
Lucky
Italian food?
Lucky
Word,
You wouldn't
that
wanna
sounds
eat it.
great. Italy.
Yeah.
Capiche?
All right, guys. If you have any last words to say about Jeff, now's the time, man. If not, we're just gonna.
Miss you, Jeff. That's it, bro.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
always going to be with us, man. He's always going to be with us. As long as these podcasts, these channels are open, he is always with us. As long as you see the Hardcore Sports Network logo on anything, that is Jeff. He's always going to be with us.
Facts.
Yeah, and for tonight, Butterfly. When I hop on, I'm gonna show the video I made a tribute to Jeff last year. So I'm gonna replay that tonight during the AEW.
Joe, did you?
stuff.
I popped in when Joe was on there the last time, and Joe showed a whole bunch of old pictures of Jeff. I
was
laughed,
great.
I cried. It was so awesome to see Jeff outside of the YouTube world,
Yeah.
and it proved he's the same person outside of what we saw. We saw the genuine person that was having fun in the garage with cheering beers like Stone Cold and shit. It was hilarious.
That
it was
was
really
great.
good, really fun.
I'm gonna ask him if he can do that again.
Yeah, he shared like his personal picture album and stuff from his Facebook or something. And there was so much. I mean, it hits you right here. It was so good to see. Never
It
die.
was
He'll never
awesome.
die.
He'll never die, man. Legends live on. And with that being said, guys, make sure you hit the like, subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network, hit the like button on all of our channels. Check us out on Spotify at the Hardcore Sports Network podcast. And guys, we'll catch you all later, Mr. Yep. We'll catch you all later. And one final thing. Love you, Jeff. We'll miss you.
Love you.
And with that,
Peace, brother.
peace, guys. We are out.